Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome. If you're a veteran, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about, I should say Hans is going to talk about.
We are going to talk about.
We are, but he's the one that has the expertise.
You're going to keep me on,
yes.
on the track.
That's my job. About leash correction or leash, how do you want to title this? Is it correction?
Well,
leash?
use of leash versus use of e-collar.
E-collar. Yeah.
Well, when you're correcting the dog, there's two things. One is you want the dog to know that he got corrected by you, and then there is another correction where you don't want the dog to know he got corrected by you. Okay?
Okay.
So when you train the dog and using leash, okay, so you can correct the dog when he does not respond to your command, right? So you say sit, he doesn't sit, so you say no and correct him. For that, the leash is the best, right? Because the dog sees it's coming from you.
Yeah, directly.
Directly.
No mistake.
No mistake.
Yeah.
Then you have another type of correction where you correcting the dog when he's doing something wrong on its own. So we have a correction for disobeying the given command, which means if I tell the dog sit, he doesn't sit, then I correct the dog on the leash. I say no, and then I correct the dog on the leash. So that I gotta say no first in order for the dog to know it's coming warning, and then gets the correction on the leash, which the no, I use deep voice, so it's like a growling, and the jerk on the leash is like the dog's bite on the other dog's neck. You know, the idiots who don't understand that, they call it yank and crank, which is derogatory, but whatever. Okay, that it's perfectly natural because it simulates the dominant dog bite on the back of the neck of the subdominant.
They all get it. They understand.
Yeah, and it builds up proper leadership position and the relationship between the two dogs. I mean, between the two members of the pack, you and the dog, two members of the pack. Then we have a correction for bad behavior. Dog is doing something bad, and I want to correct him for the bad behavior. I can also use leash, but I can use. I can just make sure the dog thinks he got zapped by whatever, you know, like he wanna chase a cow, right? So, but that's avoidance, right? So it's a behavior where the dog thinks that the behavior itself caused him to get that shock, okay? And that's, again, you are not around, and you can use e-collar for that. Good example is dog going in the garbage. Okay, so dog goes in the garbage and gets zapped, right? I used to put mousetrap there, you know, dog get whacked on the nose.
Okay, so there's different ways
same
of doing
thing,
it.
except, you know,
same concept.
right? So there also, we don't need a leash, okay?
Yeah.
And then the third one is avoidance training, where the dog is trying to avoid rattlesnake, poisonous toad, and stuff like that. So you want to make the dog to think that the animal, the snake, like rattlesnake, did that. And there, it's important that the person is not around, because if I'm around my dog and we run into rattlesnake, I'll tell the dog to stay a hell of away from it.
Yeah.
Okay? But the problem happens when the dog is alone, right? You let the dogs in the backyard and they see a rattlesnake and they start messing with it, and you are in the house, right?
It's not effective,
right? So for those situations, you know, the garbage, you know, and the avoidance training for dangerous animals like rattlesnakes or poisonous frogs, toads. It's okay, and it should be so the dog does not associate that correction with the person, with the owner, right? And both of those are called aversion or avoidance. You know, one of them would be avoidance. That would be the garbage can, and the aversion would be the rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Okay, I call it aversion because it's like doesn't have anything to do. He's avoiding garbage, but he's averse. Oh my God, you know.
Yeah, you want to really.
It's like a step
above the garbage.
above the garbage, right?
Yeah.
But then, and this is where I'm going to run into controversy. Then we are people using e-collar during the obedience training. You know, they're using it for convenience sake, and the dog works. When you use e-collar, dog works really sharp. So a lot of time, especially when you train drive, the competition dogs are using e-collar to perfect the dog's performance, because in a higher level of competition, you need the dog to perform very accurately, because all the dogs, in especially higher level of competitions, are really well trained, and they make very little tiny mistakes. The tail is a little bit to the side when they do bark and hold.
Yeah.
You know, or stuff like that, and so you polishing the tiny correction with the e-collar, and it's useful. It's convenient, and there is no really baggage to it. So why not to do it, right? For sport, for sport there is no baggage. There is a baggage, right? But I'll get to it later, and so. If you compete these days and you don't use the e-collar, you're probably not going to win, right? Because you're against everybody who's using it. And personally, if you put an e-collar on my neck, I'm going to perform much better than if I don't have an e-collar on the neck.
And let's show it today. It's kind of like, not the same, but when in bicycling, I watch bicycling, but the doping was a big thing, you know, and I mean, obviously people know about that, but you had to do it, otherwise you couldn't perform. Like you couldn't even. These guys would it's kind of similar concept. Right.
With the sport. So you have to, you know, that's just how it is. Okay. Now I'm not saying I agree with it. But it's just how it is. I think that should not be used because the e-collar turns the dog into cyborg. You know what cyborg is?
Yeah, half human, half robot.
It's a biological organism combined with some electronic mechanical device like a RoboCop.
Yeah, I like RoboCop. The first one. It
was a good movie, and so I don't want my dog to be cyborg. So I want the dog to be pack member of my pack of two, meaning me and the dog. And so when I train dogs, I don't train them for competition and to win nationals. I'm training the dog for relationship I have with the dog. And the problem, you know, like I just seen some dog trainer, just watched it together. I'm not going to say any names. And he said the e-collar is, how did he say, is extension of his, right? Yes. No, e-collar is not extension of yours, because you know, people say, well, I'm using e-collar. It is extension because I can control the dog way the hell out there. But it's not you who is controlling the dog. I mean, you gotta think what's in the dog's mind. The dog doesn't think that it's you. He thinks it's the e-collar which controls him. Right? I mean, in the end, it's you, but the dog doesn't know it. Right?
From the dog's perspective.
From dog's perspective, dog doesn't know it. Dog thinks, okay, I have this doohickey on my neck, and when I don't listen to my master do this and that doohickey is zapping me.
I think this is where they would argue you. They said, no, it's my extension.
Well, not it's not your extension because it would be your extension if the dog would understand that it is you, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
And people say, yeah, he does. Well, he doesn't. Okay.
And if he would understand it's you, then you don't need the color.
Right.
So it's-
Right. That's a good point. I never even thought of it that way. So when I train dog personally, I want the correction to come from me because I want the dog to understand it's coming from me.
Yeah.
And why? Because it's how nature works. You have a dominant dog who comes, as I already mentioned, and growls at the dog if the other dog when he does something, or just reinforcing his hierarchy position. They have no reason. Just, hey, I'll kick your ass so I can.
My female, when we're walking towards the garage, she just like nails the male for no reason. We're just going towards.
Yeah, just for good measure.
That's it.
Yeah,
we're just walking.
Yeah, And I remember we had that guy in my class, and I said, you got to correct the dog. Like when we do protection,
Yeah.
and then we go from the protection mode into let's make friends mode.
Yep.
And I tell them, put the dog on choker and give him a little correction.
Yep.
And he says, why? He didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's it. Just because I want the dog to understand now I'm in charge.
Yeah. Just to make sure he understands.
Right,
that.
he'd understand that. Just like that female of yours will nail your male just so he understands that she's a boss, okay? That's it. That's the reason.
It's nature working. Yeah.
But that's the reason.
She's mean.
So
She's mean.
yeah.
She's mean.
So people say there is no reason. Yeah, there is a reason. There's a reason for everything. The reason is we want the dog to remind him that I am in leadership position, so I can give the dog a little correction, right? And so then when I go and do obedience, you have, 5 stages of the obedience, right? The learning, and then the understanding, the learning, the conditioning, the working, reconditioning, and I kind of, whatever, right? 5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it up. We should put it up.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
on the
put
side.
it I'll put
on
it
the side, like right now.
Yeah, I forgot my meds, so I'm not completely with it today.
It's not mental medication, by the way.
Well, my heart is not pumping the way
but it's not. People
it doesn't bring the blood correctly to my brain. Plus, I feel like hell, right? So
Hans is a trooper today, guys. 'Cause we were not going to record actually this episode because he was not feeling well. So
no, they're not recorded.
What? No, I mean we're recording right now, but Hans and I were talking, and he was just not feeling well today. So.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so it's. So now I want the dog to understand that I'm giving him the correction because during the teaching phase where I'm making dog do things physically, I force him. The dog see I gotta do it for him because he said so, right? And in that stage, he needs to understand that that's the first stage of the training.
Yeah.
Okay. And there I'm explaining to the dog, you got to do it because I said so. And that will help me to control him in critical situation. And if you do that, then I'll reward you at pet.
Yeah.
Good boy, pet, oxytocin, bonding hormone.
Yeah.
And the dog is want to do more of it. So because he gets addicted to the hormone, so he starts doing it. But also the correction is also correcting him if he does something, if he doesn't respond to my command.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the reasons why I want the dog to see that the corrections are coming from me, right? And then people say, well, how do I make the dog to respond to me when they are 50 yards away?
Yeah.
Well, by small increments, right? Right. So first using leash, but then eventually you can disconnect the leash, right?
Yeah.
So for example, I give you an example, right? When things don't work well. So I put the dog down, stay, and I walk away from him 50 feet. And I say down. and dog doesn't go down. So I mark the behavior. I say no, and then I walk back so the dog knows. Why do I mark the behavior? I mark the behavior, the bad behavior, by saying no. So the dog now lives only in presence. So the presence now continues, right? So I'm walking to the dog, and then I hook up the leash and correct him.
Yeah.
Right?
How many seconds? We talked about that. Like, what do you think? You said something 30 seconds, not even that they live in that, as you said, this continuation.
Yeah,
like,
but by me marking the behavior, I can extend it, so to speak, indefinitely, right? I mean, not really indefinitely, but I'm extending the time, right? So the biggest problem what people do, they tell the dog down, right, when he's 50 feet away, and then they go, and the dog doesn't go down, so they go to the dog and then they say no.
They don't mark it right away.
That's wrong, because then the dog thinks he's going to get corrected because you're coming to him.
Got it, yeah.
Right? So you're always correcting the dog what's the presence. So I make the presence him not going down, right? So I say Buster down, and he doesn't down. I say no, and I walk towards him, and the no now lasts because there's nothing else in between, right? And I walk down, and I get the leash, and I pop him, and he goes down. So the next time when I tell him down and he doesn't go down, and I say no, now he knows what it means, because last time he said no, he gave me correction. He came and gave me correction. That teaches the dog to respond to me even on long distance, and I can extend the distance. I can extend it from... And we did the Fibonacci, right?
Yeah.
But it's not published.
Yeah.
So we increase the distance by Fibonacci numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Look up what's Fibonacci number.
Yeah, just look it up.
Fibonacci number is a number which if you have a line of numbers, you add the last two numbers, and that's the next number, right? It's a very important number.
In many ways.
So you go 0. Is and then you have 1, right?
Yeah.
So 0 plus 1 is 1. So next number in Fibonacci line is 1. And then you have 1 plus 1 is 2. So next one is 2. And then next Fibonacci number would be 2 plus 1 would be 3. And the next Fibonacci number would be 2 plus 3 would be 5, and so on, okay?
Yeah.
And you can, while I'm talking about it, you start increasing the distance from the dog by this progression of the Fibonacci numbers. If you don't understand from this cursory explanation what Fibonacci numbers are, just go to the biggest library in the world, Google, and look it up. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
And everything in nature, why I'm using Fibonacci numbers, because everything in nature has these Fibonacci increments
kind of
built in, okay? Like the shell of Nautilus,
Yep.
If you cut through it, it's like a spiral, right? And the distance between the two lines of the spiral, it fits into the Fibonacci number, right? Like, for example, right? So because I used to say you always double the distance, right? But actually, the Fibonacci number are more natural. That's why I like to use the Fibonacci numbers, okay? Just because it's more natural. That's all. I'm trying to match my training I do with the dog with nature as much as possible.
I think that's one of your best, not just best saying. It's not a best saying, but it is. If it doesn't coincide with nature and logic, then it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it says what I'm saying is the science got to coincide with nature, and if it doesn't coincide with nature, then it's no science. It's ideology.
Yeah.
So that's why. So that's how I would teach the dog to respond to me on long distance. At first, I do it on leash, right? So dog is in front of me, 1 foot.
He has to understand it. He has to understand.
Right. I say sit, and he does, or down, and he doesn't down. So I said no, jerk. Then I put him 2 feet away, and I said down. He doesn't down, no, and jerk. Right. I keep correcting the dog only after I explain the dog what down is, of course, right? That just goes without saying it. I don't want some yahoo start telling me.
Yanking
Oh yeah, you gotta explain every little stupid stuff because then people latch on it. So it's
funny 'cause
like
we have this talk with Hans because teaching is not easy. So when there's a new student, Hans been doing this for 55 years plus, and when you do something for so long and you're really good at it, you get to know it. It's just sometimes not intentionally, but you're kind of assuming some things.
Yeah, you say, well, everybody knows this, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, all right. Anyway, so
it's not intentional. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. So I gotta reiterate that I first make sure. Remember, I talk about those five steps, right? So the first step is teaching the dog what that command means.
Number one. Yeah.
Right. And then I practice it, and I condition it.
Yeah.
Then I use it at work, and then I recondition. There is 5. Okay. And so that is how I will, and then I come all the way to the end of the leash. Now I still have the dog on leash, right? And then I say down, and dog doesn't down. So I say, no, now I got to walk towards the dog that length of the leash.
Mark it first.
I'm sorry, thank you. And walk towards the dog and then correct it, right? And then I go past the length of the leash, so I just drop the leash on the ground.
That's roughly 6 feet.
6 feet,
roughly,
plus you stretch your arm,
okay.
that's another 2 or 3 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then I cannot do it anymore, so I still leave the leash there. Remember, that's a bridging.
Yeah.
Right, leash was always there, so let's keep the leash as a bridge still there, even so I don't hold it in my hand anymore. You would think the dog thinks, okay, he cannot hold the leash, so I can run away, right?
Yeah,
but because we did all that work before, he won't, right?
Yeah.
And then I keep going further and further and further, and then I just disconnect the leash.
Yeah.
And dog is, okay, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I correct the dog. I can either hook up the leash or just take the choker and just give a little tap on the choker.
Yeah.
That's how I do long distance, right? Plus, I teach the dog that in my out-of-drive obedience, I teach the dog that he has to do it if he likes it or not, right? So that dovetails together with the distance, and the dog then starts doing it even if he's far away because I said so.
Without leash.
Without leash or anything.
Yeah.
Now it takes longer.
Yeah, it's harder.
It takes much longer than if you use e-collar,
Yeah.
but you build proper relationship with the dog.
Yeah.
The dog is working for you and with you and not for some doohickey on his neck.
And in any critical situation, as you said.
And if the dog doesn't have an e-collar or the e-collar runs out of battery or malfunction, they figure it out really quick, I'll tell you, okay? Yeah. And then I just don't need it.
Yeah.
There are these trainers and they have, even 2 e-collar or 3 e-collars on the dog.
Just to make sure that
it works. And then they put e-collar around his belly, so it zaps him right next to his pecker.
I don't know if when the iPhone in 2007 it came out, I think maybe it is me, but I remember there was other gadgets before the iPhone where you had that little pencil.
What was they called?
Like stylus.
Stylus, yeah.
But what happened with that stylus? You usually always lost it.
Right.
You couldn't find it, so you can use the gadget, right?
Right. So now
so I think maybe possibly also Steve Jobs said, maybe he didn't say it, but it's like, but your finger is always with you.
Well,
right?
This is a long time because I remember when I was in a young lad.
Yeah. I like the choice of the slight thinking and then the choice of words.
Yeah. There was on Wenceslav Square in Prague, there was this thing, on show window. Mm-hmm. They were selling electronics like stereos and shit like that. And they would put a hand made out of aluminum foil, and they glue it on the inside of the show window. Mm-hmm. And there was a wire going to it, to something, and then to light bulb. Mm-hmm. So people could, from the outside,
You touched it.
put the hand on that hand, and the light
lit up.
bulb inside of the store would lit up.
Then you thought it was like.
And everybody thought it was a miracle. Now, this is the same technology which we're using here now.
the touch.
With, you know.
Yeah.
But this was in 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, 70s.
70s.
Yeah.
Or maybe even, yeah.
Well, I saw it in 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was a miracle.
Yeah.
You know, now look how far we advanced.
Yeah. We're still touching the window.
We're still touching the window, same thing.
Yeah. Because it's based on probably laws of
Well, some
physics.
electromagnetic
Laws
field.
of physics,
Fuck, I don't know what the
yeah.
hell it's making.
But yeah, but no, those are what you're saying. I mean, I'm hoping
Well,
that.
you know, I want to recap this. Okay, so always think when you know, I'm not against e-collars in some such scenario, like the avoidance of the animals,
aversion.
like rattlesnake, the aversion,
Yep.
you know, or the
It's a very useful tool in those things,
or the
right?
garbage can, you
Very
know.
useful though in those
Yeah.
instances.
Yeah, you can put a mouse trap. You know, it works pretty good. The mouse trap did. But one day I came home
But didn't
and
she-
there was garbage scattered all over the house, and
Yeah.
the dog was laying right on top of it with this shit grin on her face, and next to her was this old-fashioned mouse trap all chewed up. Garbage girl. you know.
Garbage girl.
Yeah. So I said, okay.
Not everything is 100% proof.
Nothing is.
Yeah.
But
This dovetails back into your relation. Everything goes into that beginning of that relationship.
Remember,
that
guys,
leadership.
when you're training the dog, you gotta do the number. Why do you have dog, man? You know, you have some kind of a ego problem, and you want to win competition, and to show people you are a better person than they are because you won some competition with the dog. Is that what you do? Okay, well, hey, as we say in Czech, there is no law against bad taste. Okay.
It's like a gentle slap from
Personally, I want to have a dog to have a relationship with the dog, keep it safe, keep it reliable,
Yeah.
and all that. I don't care how the tail is a little bit crooked or straight or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to when I call the dog to come or stop or whatever, do whatever I say.
Yeah.
You know, and all the training and again, I'm gonna plug it in now. My out of drive obedience is that type of obedience you need to build the proper relationship with the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this content so far, please subscribe to our channel. Also, Hans has a podcast channel called Dog Training for Life. Check that out so you can listen to the audio version.
That's it. That's just, you know, and it's out of drive. It's not. Yeah, I don't want a dog to work because it has a
Yeah.
doohickey on his neck or
Yeah.
cookie. I have a cookie in my pocket.
Yeah.
That's not why I want my dog to work. I want him to work because I said so. We have a relationship. We have a mission.
Yeah.
In protection, we have a mission
Yeah.
to annihilate the. You know, as Russians say, уничтожить, right? Turn into nothing.
Yeah.
I want to annihilate the enemy.
Yeah.
That's our mission. That's what I want. I don't want to bite in
Yeah.
a sleeve and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And there's time to play when there's playtime too. So it's
Well, that's not
I know,
protection.
but I'm just
so.
saying not using the toy as
I
for
use toy, whatever, but don't call it
that's
protection.
not protection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's
Yeah.
time for all that, but not.
Yeah, or if you do it in sport, you know, and you want to target the toy, hey, that's fine, but don't call it. I mean, you call it protection because that's what they call it, but but it's not protection.
Yeah.
Does it mean the dog is not going to be protective? Yeah, but not because of your training.
Yeah.
He may be, or she.
But that's only a
But
5%.
yeah, 1 out of 40. Remember that number?
Yeah. And people are like, well, what about? And as Hans said, so what do you do with the rest of the dogs?
You took them behind the bar and used 38 special.
I mean, what, right?
No,
But
you
that's-
train
well,
any
that's-
dog, you stick in front of you.
That's
you know,
what-
like people, you know, say, well, you know, it's all about genetics. I want to train the dog with best genetics. I say, give me definition of best genetics. It's on continuum, right?
Yeah.
So you have a dog which is complete dud,
Yeah.
or you have a dog which is, you know, 100%. But 100%, I divide dog on scale from 0 to or 1 to 100. But no dog is 100,
Yeah.
right? So you always can come on, it's only 99%, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So where do I train the dog on that continue? I start with one. If the dog is complete dead, I'd still try.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyway, that's
Yeah.
a different issue.
But all these years of training, I mean,
But you saw it in my. To me, if you want a law enforcement dog or a SWAT team dog or Navy SEAL dog, I'll try to pick up the dog with biggest drive and best whatever abilities to do that work.
but that's extremely small.
But when Joe Blow comes to me and have a dog and want to train it, what do I gonna tell him? Just get rid of the dog. I'll sell you a different one, and we'll train that one.
Yeah.
I give them that option, but I will say always, well, let's train what you have and see how far it can go. And I tell you one thing. A lot of times, I'm surprised myself how far these so-called dead dog can do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, look at the Bob's dog, right?
Yeah.
That dog is a dog pound dog, whatever, neutered. One of the best dogs I ever seen, ever.
Yeah.
And if you just look at him at first,
Yeah, but
he's so you never know what you wake up in that dog.
yeah, and that's what makes a good dog trainer, where you can take a dog that's more
Right,
on
but
the lower.
we're deviating from the
okay.
topic. So anyway, the leash. When I'm correcting the dog knows that it's coming from me, and that helps him to understand that I'm in leadership position, because the correction on the leash is simulating the dominant dog's bite on the back of the neck. Me growling no, and then follow with the jerk on the leash is like the bite. That's it.
Yeah, if there's one thing you take away from the video, right there, you said it right there. That's the big difference.
That's it. Okay, so let's close on that.
That's it. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in purchasing the Out of Drive Obedience video, which is one of probably the top videos that Hans sells, because it just seems like it's been there around for a long time, but it's like it just got lost. Because of this whole craziness of the e-collars. It's just
I want people just do yourself a favor, and when you go on my website, go to the videos, instructional videos and book for sale.
Yeah.
Right? Just go there, click on it, and then go to the obedience. And then I think scroll down, and what does it say?
on the page.
I've won this or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. And then there's another page, and it'll show you the comments people have.
Yeah.
Right? And I have all of them are 5 stars. One it's 4 stars, and the 4-star one says, "I wish it would be longer" or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
didn't even know, by the way, in the beginning that people were making those comments, because that's on their own. They're just putting it in.
Right. I can't.
We can't delete them or add them in.
Right.
So
go ahead and read them.
Yeah, those are great comments. So the Out of Drive Obedience video is there at alpinecaninereel.com. Also, the personal protection video series, How to Feed Puppy Raw, and all sorts of just great instructional videos at alpinecaninereel.com. If you're looking for a puppy or a trained adult dog, Hans is your man. These dogs come in, they're flown in from the Czech Republic. They're phenomenal dogs. I have one myself from the Czech Republic. She's awesome. So make sure you contact Hans. All the information is down below this video. And please subscribe and share, and that helps the channel. And we will see you guys next time.
Ahoy.
So Hans has a membership program. We just started this not long ago, depending on when you're obviously watching the video. It involves, it's the link is down below this video. We have a whole dedicated page to it. Also, I'm going to tell you about it, but you can go to alpinecaninereel.com and you will see it says join membership right there. There's a button right there.
It's a Facebook.
Yeah, it's a private. Yep.
Private.
I'm going to
membership. Thing.
Yeah. So what it is, it's if the videos are great, and Hans has some great videos, but ultimately you need help with your dog, right? You have behavior modification issues, you have obedience issues, And this private Facebook group is where Hans personally helps you. The great thing here is that basically it's a library of things as the membership builds, as the people are asking questions. So you will also see other people's issues. So it's a wonderful hub of knowledge. You can upload the video of the issue, which is the big one, because Hans, you're going blind a lot of time. People telling you type, but video is the best way, correct? Yeah. So you have that opportunity inside this private Facebook group to upload your issue, and Hans will be there to help. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an issue about the obedience itself, because, when I started training dogs and all that, I did it from books and stuff. Nobody ever told me anything.
Yeah.
I learned a lot on my own, and then I got some input from other people, but you can read something or listen to something and still do it wrong.
Yeah.
You need, unless you do it 100 times and they say, oh yeah, I forgot this and I forgot that. Where if you record your session and send me, download it, let's say on YouTube, and put it as a link,
Whichever way. Yeah.
and I look at it, I can immediately tell you what you're doing wrong,
Yeah.
right? And what you should do better, and what you do good, and what you should do next.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what the group is all about. And there's going to be there are, or it's already active. There are two ways to do it. One is the virtual hunts, and we're still expanding on the virtual hunts.
It's an artificial intelligence. I was gonna.
It's artificial intelligence where you can ask questions 24/7, and you will get an answer, and you won't get a generic answer which was collected by AI from internet. You get mine answer, because Gabor inserts my articles and my videos and my posts into the memory of the AI, and the AI reaches into their memory to answer your questions. And there's literally thousands of topics I wrote about, and even so it's active, we keep adding on it, continuously, and eventually it's going to be like a big book of what I teach and my philosophy. So, book, you have everything there, but this will be just like an encyclopedia, like a book. You want to look at.
You ask your problem.
Yeah, you ask about Russian Revolution, right? So you go to Russian Revolution.
You won't have that in there, but
okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you want to see how to split atoms, so you go and look up split atom. In the encyclopedia, of course, we are not talking about stuff like that, but maybe we will one day. So,
and
so that's the So that's the virtual hunts, what I call it, the artificial intelligence answers. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to worry about calling me at 2:00 at night, right? You can tap into it anytime, 24/7.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get the answer, or you can try to reformulate it, right? And if still don't get an answer, then you can ask me within the timeline, right?
Yeah.
And I will answer it. I'll go there every day and I see what somebody is asking, and I will answer a question personally. Okay.
Yeah. And another neat feature of the AI is if we have a video, let's say it's 30 minutes long, and you ask the question, but your answer lies like 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, well, it'll start the video at that 10 minutes and 30 seconds where the answer is to your question. Now that's powerful, because we have a lot of video in the course, and that's a huge time saver, and also just pinpoints you to the where the issue, where your answer is. So please click below this video, and the link is there. And also, again, you can go to alpinecaninereal.com, and it says join membership. There's a button. All right, guys, that's it.
Yeah. Ahoy.